One side will be advancing to the round of 32 after tonight's game. This is where the magic of the cup becomes such important. Tonight we are at Monbulk Reserve for the Monbulk Rangers, home to one of the powerhouses of the NPL in Victoria, Hume City. And for Monbulk, they are here to hopefully create some history tonight after being the first state league side through to the round 7 of the Victorian FFA Cup leg. I'm Michael Thompson in commentary with you tonight, and joining me in comms tonight is fellow NPL Victoria commentator Oscar Drew. Oscar, good evening to you.
Good evening, Michael. Very exciting to be here. As you say, a real David versus Goliath clash. This is really what cup competitions are all about to the maximum degree. A big NPL club in Hume City taking on a State League 2 Southeast side in Monbulk Rangers. Really exciting and looking forward to this one, Michael.
So look at the starting lineup for Monbulk. Sonny in goals, number 1, Jaden Allen. The captain, number 4, Geordie Scott. Dylan McLeese at number 5. Number 7, Christopher Wynn. Number 9, Marcus Watson. Number 12, Josh Newman. Number 13, Joris Kirstens. Number 17, Daniel Higgins. Number 28, Arin Angulo. And number 32, Eddie Clark. And number 37, Steve McRae. And on the bench for Monbulk is number 16, Turbo Antanasov, number 19, Joshua Botha, number 24, Alexander Clark, number 30, Ibrahim Bangua, and the goalkeeper, number 20, Bo Newman. And the lineup, Drew, Oscar for Hume City.
Yeah, for Hume City tonight, number 1 in goal, the captain, Michael Weir. Number 4, Jordan Marichich. Number 5, Danny Dixon. Number 7, Andy Brennan. Number 9, Josh Bingham. Number 12, Mark Ocheng. Number 13, Matt Lazaridis. Number 15, Hayden Tennant. Number 18, Ben Bowler. Number 21, Kore Cekic. And number 20, Pat Langlois. On the bench for Hume City tonight, number 3, Ubebika Kapar. Number 11, Theo Markellis. Number 14, Mitch Cooper. Number 21, Umit Bozdogan, and number 20, the substitute goalkeeper, is Lucas Trenkovsky.
What's your thoughts going into this one?
Well, of course, considering the relevant statures of both sides, you can imagine that Monbulk will come out here. First and foremost, they'll be trying to remain defensively solid, keep a clean sheet, put plenty of numbers behind the ball, keep their concentration and remain compact. Just be very hard to break down, because you'd imagine that that's what manager Mike Kelly will believe will give his side the best chance of progressing in this competition.
Did speak to Geordie Scott a couple of weeks ago, and he was very excited for the fact is that they get to advance, and they were hoping for a new team. They know what it's like to take on a team like Avondale and South Melbourne in previous FFA Cups past, but they've never taken on Hume City in this tie before. As we kick off here, round 7 of the FFA Cup begins here, Monbulk and Hume City. By the end of tonight, we'll have all 4 teams from the Victorian League going through to the round of 32. We'll know in about an hour's time whether it's going to be Port Melbourne or Moreland Zebras. We'll keep you over that game as well over the course of the evening as well, as Hume City is the one to kick things off. Good capacity crowd too here, Oscar.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course, in the last round of the FFA Cup, weren't allowed a crowd considering that we were still on the way out of lockdown. So really excited for these Monbulk fans to be able to get to this huge game in the club's history.
See Bowler. Slow start for Hume City in the back. Over to Marichich. And the one thing, too, I really liked about Monbulk in the game a couple of weeks ago was the amount of pressure they put on the State League 1 side and FC Clifton Hill. Doing a game with Ollie Walker-Peel, he was very adamant that Clifton Hill was actually going to win that one, but the pressure was paramount from Monbulk from the back right to the front. There were times where they were in a lot of danger in that game, and credit to Monbulk, they got that win in the end.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely, and especially in the second half of that game, Monbulk was superb, really put, as you say, so much pressure on Clifton Hill, really showing that they can take it up to sides in higher divisions than themselves. But, of course, Hume City is a whole nother level of challenge for this Monbulk side. But, you know, a good start nonetheless. Hume City controlling the possession, but Monbulk, you can see straight away, plenty of numbers behind the ball, hard to break down, and that'll, you'd imagine, be central to their game plan for most of tonight.
And you got to think as well, the road trip for Hume City too, coming all the way from Broadmeadows. It's a long trip for a lot of people to come up to the Mount Dandenongs. It's a beautiful part of Melbourne for a lot of those who aren't here tonight. They'll definitely be watching on the Football Victoria Facebook and YouTube channels. Throwing them on Monbulk there. Watson is going to play back. Cut off. His first chance opportunity here going for Bingham. Leading goal scorer for Hume City so far in the 2021 NPL Victoria campaign. Cut off beautifully, but turned over again. And again, this is how Hume City like to play their ball, quick Quick pacey attack here, quick opportunity. Going to get the first goal of the game. And they do. And they do through Matt Lazaridis. And Hume City are already 1-0 up there. Oscar Drew, what did you witness there? But quick, fast and pacey. That's how Hume City like to play their game of it.
Well, absolutely. It is really disappointing for Monbulk. You can hear the disappointment in the crowd here at the ground to go down so early on in such a big game for the club. They had a couple of chances to clear it there. They weren't able to do so effectively, and if you give Hume City those kinds of chances with players like Matt Lazaridis arriving at the far post and they'll take them, well, the challenge was already a gargantuan one for Monbulk, but it just got even greater for this home side. We'll see how they come out now, being a goal behind.
Actually, Steve McRae, good lob into the 18-yard box. Just a bit too much, though. It'll be going to goal kick way of Michael Weir. And for Hume City, this is a good start. So hopefully, yet again, get another opportunity to play on the national stage. They've done it once before. They've done it a few times before. They know what it's like to take on some of the Premier A-League teams that we've got here in Australia, and also sides from New South Wales and South Australia as well as Queensland. Again, slow pace there from Hume. Weir to Ochieng. He hits the deck and is going to get a free kick. And Lazaridis, right where we are, Oscar, he's looking very dangerous all on his own. This is where he potentially could go to. Sekic was thinking about going to Lazaridis. He does. Goes back to Sekic. Good cut off there by Newman. Monbulk regain possession. How long for? There's Newman. Good little tap over to McRae. McRae now lobs that one into the box. Chance here for Watson. But over the top was Weir. And again, the experience of Michael Weir shows why he's one of the best keepers in the NPL right now, Oscar.
Well, yeah, absolutely, but really impressive stuff from Monbulk. Good signs for the home team in the way that they were willing to put lots of pressure on Hume City to try force the turnover and then get the ball in early to try expose Hume City at the back when they haven't had the chance to get enough players back there to set up. That's the kind of play that Monbulk will need to sustain for a long period of time tonight if they're going to want to find a way through or to get back on level terms in this game, though, I think, Michael.
Lang Lois over to Bowler. It's Dixon. Dixon scoring 3 goals in the 4-0 win against the Eastern Lions on Saturday night. And again, Lazaridis has already been dangerous early. Can he keep possession? He can't. Unfortunately for him, a bit too much on that one. Couldn't control in the end.
Yeah, and well, Matt Lazaridis really showing what Nick Hegarty is going for tonight in the way that he's pushing lots of bodies forwards. He recognises that Monbulk are going to have so many numbers behind the ball, and so he's encouraged his fullbacks to get well up the pitch, as Lazaridis has demonstrated tonight. It didn't work out on that occasion, but it's creating a real havoc for Josh Newman at right back for Monbulk early on.
Plays broadcast side. Ball returns to Hume. Bingham to Brennan, back to Bingham. Bingham loses that one. Brennan trying to put a little bit of pressure on the Monbulk defence, couldn't do so. And they're going to lose possession. It's going to be retained here by Hume City.
Well, just as we saw him involved in a bit of that play, Josh Bingham, he's in outrageously good form for Hume City. I think he's got in something like his last 10 league games, which is just insane stuff. So Monbulk will be putting lots of attention into him and closing him down as soon as they can, because he poses such a danger, let alone the likes of Andy Brennan and Danny Dixon and what they can provide as well.
Well, you've got to say, though, for Josh Bingham, he scored 13 goals so far in 16 games. It's almost 0.8, 0.9 goals per game there, Oscar.
Well, yeah, as I say, he's just so dangerous up top, and that's at NPL level. So this Monbulk side will certainly be putting a lot of attention into him and trying to limit his influence or not afford him any space so that he can get the chances that he's been taking so regularly over the last few months.
And a little bit of, probably I would say for Monbulk is they don't have their 2 goal scorers against Clifton Hill, which I'll talk about a little bit shortly. There's Lazaridis, all in his own. Good pass up now to Danny Dixon. Dixon on the edge of the box. It's got Higgins to contend with, and it's going to be a corner kick going the way of Hume City. No Abraham Quoll tonight, no Aresh Sadeghi either for Monbulk. Two players who scored the 2 goals in the 2-1 victory against Clifton Hill. So we'll just sort of see how Mike Kelly and who he's going to sort of rely on. I would say more so he would rely on someone like a Steve McRae to score the goals tonight. See a corner kick coming from Hume City. Chance to score second one. Good punch away. Chance for Langlois. Couldn't get there in the end. Good awareness there from Allen. And it's going to remain in the possession of Hume City. Dixon, Lazaridis. Scored the opening goal of this contest. To Maricic. To Bauer, back to Maricic. So go through midfield. Bauer will get it from Lazaridis. Langlois loses the ball. I think for Hume City, they're going to retain possession here.
Well, plenty of pressure being applied by the home side in these early stages, trying to not allow Hume City any time on the ball to get comfortable and really, I guess, debase what Hume City would have been coming into this game trying to play. But it's really challenging because even when they do force the turnover, they've got to have the quality to make use of it and pick their way through the Hume defence, which just presents a whole other barrier to this Monbulk side that they'll have to overcome, well, throughout the game tonight, really.
As the ball crosses in, there's Brennan. Brennan over the top. Can he find Bingham? Can't do so. Lobbed away. Only for the short time. There is Brennan again. He's going to try and run into it. Can't do so. Hume retain possession. Oh, ricocheted off. Almost a second goal there for Hume City. However, they're going to get the corner, and it will be Dixon to take the set-piece corner from the left side. Hume City currently sitting third in the NPL competition at the moment, giving Avondale and Heidelberg a definite run for their money. As I've been saying all year, it's very close to the top. As they bring the ball back in, there's Bauer. Bauer back to Dixon. Long. Beautiful take there from Allen. And Monbulk our way through win. He loses it, however, but it's going to go back the way of Monbulk. Linesman in a great position there and be a throw-in going the way of the Rangers.
Well, interesting to see the intent there of Monbulk. Jaden Allen, after claiming the corner, straight away throwing it out, trying to perhaps create a chance off the break. But just so many, for Hume City not committing an unnecessary number of players forward. They know that they've got the lead and they know that, well, in many ways, it'll be up, as long as they can keep their shape and keep the correct amount of numbers behind the ball, Monbulk will have a really rough time trying to break them down. So no risk play, no unnecessary risk for Hume City, and it's making it a real challenge for Monbulk to break them down.
Lazaridis to Langlois. Chance now for Sekic to Brennan. Again, they're trying to find the danger man in Josh Bingham. Couldn't do so. Cut off there by Monbulk. Monbulk will retain possession. Chained to Geordie Scott a couple of weeks ago, Oscar. The one thing I really learned about this Monbulk team is that they've got such a good, strong culture here. They're all mates. A lot of them just tend to play for the jumper more so than wanting to get paid. They love the sport so much. It's a good atmosphere here in Monbulk, and getting to learn more about this team and getting to learn more about it over the course of the last couple of weeks, you can't help but fall in love with Monbulk and sort of what they're trying to build here.
Yeah, absolutely, and Geordie Scott really does personify this club through and through. I saw an interview with him where he spoke about growing up in Gembrook, not too far away from here, and having this club involved in his life for such a long period of time. So tonight, a really special night for someone like Geordie Scott, now the club captain of Monbulk, and he'll be giving it his all and plays such an important role just structurally for this Monbulk team, as we see his almost involvement there, the big number 4 in the middle of the park for Monbulk.
Langlois for Hume. Little chip over to Sekic. Over to Bingham. To Brennan. Chiang's on his own. Couldn't get through that last place defender there. Can they get away here? They can't. Monbulk again turning that ball over. Ball crossed over, and again, good save there from Jaden Allen. Another player as well who I really enjoy from Monbulk too, Steve McRae. He's also a school teacher by day. Would love the fact that school's returned for the semester. It'll be a free kick going away at Monbulk. Remember having a chat to Steve McRae after this game against Clifton Hill a couple of weeks ago too, and he turned around and says, "I can't celebrate too much. I've actually got to go and teach a class the next day."
Yeah, I mean, it makes it so impressive, the contribution he makes to this Monbulk team. Such a valuable contributor as we see him standing over the ball at the moment. 9 goals in the league this season, plus 3 in the FFA Cup. Certainly their leading goal scorer as he looks to deliver this ball in as it's headed clear. But Steve McRae is such a crucial cog to this Monbulk unit.
And McRae will get the ball back. Find Newman. Newman will lose that one. Had to contend with Lazaridis there. There's Dixon. Hume City, can they keep possession? They do. Langlois. Bowler. Tennant. They get back to the number 1 in Weir to Maricic. Langlois. Ooh. Cross that ball over, trying to find Chiang. Brennan. Good challenge there from Andy to Watson. Chiang's going to get the ball. He'll get it over. Quick and beautiful. That was absolutely beautiful there, and that is another goal for Hume City, and that is Josh Bingham. And again, he's such a dangerous player when he's one-on-one with the keeper. And Oscar, fortunately for Jay and Allen, he had no say in that matter then. Josh Bingham again just shows exactly why he's one of the number 1 strikers in all of Victorian football right now.
Absolutely right, Michael. We can see now why he poses such a threat and why, well, you always felt like he was going to score tonight up against this Monbulk defence, which has leaked plenty of goals this season. Brilliant play from Mark Chiang there to make the space and the run down the wing and a decent ball in. He's had a couple of involvements already, Josh Bingham, but it was only a matter of time, you really felt, until he got his name on the score sheet. 2-0 to Hume City. Things haven't gone to plan for Monbulk, but you'd imagine, as you said, talking about the culture of this club, that they'll keep fighting, they'll keep trying to enjoy themselves and recognising what an opportunity they have to be playing at such a late stage of the FFA Cup here in Victoria.
So your 2 goal scorers, Matt Lazaridis and Josh Bingham for Hume City. They're 2-0 up. We'll get a quick score update as well. The other game too, which is Port Melbourne and Moreland Zebras. We actually checked before we went on there. Moreland were up 1-0 in that one. Be a big ball over the Zebras. Can defeat the mid-table Port Melbourne Sharks. And they're still 1-0 up. An hour gone into that game. Already 2 sides have qualified for the round of 32. 2 games last night. South's winning on penalties, and Avondale showing why they're a class above so far in the 2021 campaign. Dixon has got a couple to contend with. Good awareness there for McLeese and Newman. But it's going to go another corner to the way of Hume City. And another goal going away of Hume City. That's 3 now. And they're really enjoying this one. Hume City 3, Monbulk 0. So have a quick look at that one there, Oscar.
Well, I think that the viewers are experiencing a bit of technical difficulties at the moment. I think the footage cut out there, so apologies to everyone unable to see that. The ball headed in from the corner to make it Monbulk 0, Hume City 3.
So Hume City now 3-0 up in this first half.
Yeah, just confirming it was Jordan Maricic with the header for Hume City. It was a fairly regulation corner. Maricic in the middle of the box heads it with enough power to get past the goalkeeper, but a chance here for Monbulk.
And that ball's lobbed out of here. The beauty of community football as well, Oscar, is that we've got plenty of balls to keep the game going as they try and retrieve that one. 3 separate goal scores now for Hume City: Maricic, Bingham, and Lazaridis. Joy Scott, the captain, saying it's not a match ball. Ball will be thrown in by Newman. Throws that one up. And they'll retain possession. Long inward ball inside the box, just a bit too much on the ends. They'll be going a goal kick away, Hume City.
Yeah, look, I mean, we're 20 minutes in, Hume City already 3-0 up. Things really not looking like they're going to plan tonight for Monbulk, and it's hard to imagine them turning this around in any meaningful way. But I guess this is the real challenge for Mike Kelly, to motivate his troops, to get them to continue playing for the club and for the fans that have come out here tonight. It's still a massive occasion. It's still a huge achievement for this team to have made it this far and to come up against a big side like Hume City. There's still a lot that Monbulk can take away from this game, I think, Michael. A great performance can do a lot. We've seen this FFA Cup run has inspired an upturn in their league form, so they'll hope that they can continue to play well as they look for another opportunity here, perhaps.
McRae cut that ball off, unfortunately. Oscar Dixon dueling with Higgins. Dixon wins that wall. Over now to Ochieng. To Brennan. Brennan steps back. On the wing, goes through midfield now. They're in the middle of the park. Langlois. Sekic. Lazaridis. I go over to Langlois. Hume just dictating the pace of this game so far. Langlois gets the ball back over to Dixon. Brennan. Too much there for Bingham. Almost losing his footing there was Geordie Scott. And the pitch, I'd say, would be a bit dewy. Plays slipping and sliding everywhere. Scott gets the ball back. Lazaridis gets cut off. Chance here, and it's going to be a free kick going away to Monbulk. And the momentum's halted for the time being for Hume City. It is a little bit dewy out here, isn't it, Oscar?
It's a very crisp night, I would describe it as, here in lovely Monbulk. But good to see the Monbulk players still showing plenty of fight and aggression and winning the ball back as they've done here, trying to generate some chances of their own with the ball whipped in this occasion.
Chance here now, Watson. That was a great opportunity. You can hear the fans applauding that. That was good endeavour there from Monbulk. Marcus Watson. We'll see a player down. For Monbulk. A lot of Monbulk fans out in full force tonight. That would be Chris Wynn, who's getting himself off the deck. I think as soon as the crowd starts to find their voice, the players will know, Oscar, that they're still in this and they will try and get that momentum back.
Yeah, absolutely, and those are the kinds of wins that they need to have. A first meaningful attack on goal, a couple of block shots, good stuff from Monbulk, good fight, the crowd rewarding the players' endeavour with their applause, and you can see that continuing now in their defensive effort. So really good to see from the home side. They're not giving up on this fight yet. They'll continue to put everything that they have into this game, and I think that means that for all of us viewers' perspective, it means we're still in for a cracking remaining 70 minutes or so of this contest.
Hume City 3, Monbulk 0. So we're halfway through this first half. Maricic. That ball will be cut off temporarily. Brought back by Langlois. Good hustle there for Monbulk. McRae got cut off there through Maricic. Ochieng. Bowler. Good pressure here from Wynn and McRae up front for Monbulk. They're the small wins. As that ball goes wide, Lazaridis. Could just see that ball teeter over the byline. And it'll be a goal kick going away of Monbulk.
Well, both Lazaridis and Ochieng have been so pivotal in the Hume City game plan I think we've seen already tonight. Nick Hegarty, knowing that Monbulk would be playing a compact game style where they make themselves hard to break down, has prioritised switching the play and using the pace of his two wingers to try and debase the Monbulk defence and to make them uncomfortable and to draw them out of their shape, I guess. And that's paid dividends in this first part of this game. It's been really effective, and credit to Lazaridis and Ochieng for their hard running down both wings. But another opportunity here for Monbulk to create an attacking chance of their own.
There's Newman. Newman and McRae. McRae lobs that one in. Not a bad attempt there from Steve McRae. We on the back end. Maricic back over the Weir. Long ball there from Ochieng. We'll find touch. We'll go the way of Hume City. Ochieng to Bowler. Bowler gives it back to Ochieng. To Sekic. Finds Lazaridis, has already got a goal to his name. One-on-one with Higgins. Lazaridis wins that one, and that one will teeter over the crossbar. Good pressure, though, from Dan Higgins in the end. Does not trouble Jane Allen in the slightest. I think at this point in time, Oscar, I think Hume's happy to slow the pace of the game down a little bit. They're 3-0 up. They're happy to sort of just put the foot off the accelerator just for a tad before they go again.
Yeah, look, I mean, as I said, they certainly won't be taking any unnecessary risks of throwing numbers forward to try create opportunities. They're happy to keep a safe number behind the ball as the referee blows for a handball there on Marcus Watson. But Hume, I can't imagine will be pushing an unnecessary number of players forward. They'll be happy to keep their shape in their defensive structure and use the wide players to pull the Monbulk defence out of position. And still, though, plenty of attacking intent from the visitors. You can see that they're happy to keep trying to score some more goals to really make a night out of this FFA Cup tie and to get plenty of confidence in their forward players as if they need it anymore, and just a good mood around the club heading into the latter stages of the season.
Hume City. Maricic. Happy to park the bus just for the time being. Langlois. Sekic. Now they're happy to hit A on that bus and go again. Bowler, Lazaridis, Sekic. Monbulk asking for a handball. Referee says no. Throw in there from Ochieng to Brennan. Back over to Ochieng. Brennan runs on the back end of that one. Bingham! Couldn't go for a brace there. Goes left side of the post. But Josh Bingham, we know how dangerous he's been so far tonight. Already 1 goal to his name. When he's alone, he's very dangerous. Josh Bingham, especially with his right boots.
Yeah, absolutely, and we can see how hard he is to contain, despite the fact that he's got a Monbulk defender pretty much right next to him in every second of this game, trying as best they can to limit his influence. He still finds a way to make space and be dangerous, and it really is testament to the quality of the striker that is Josh Bingham, the former Central Coast Mariner.
Ball back with Hume City. Ochang got Watson to contend with. Good pressure there from Watson. They have to go back here, Hume. Over to Weir. Langlois. To Ochang. Cut off beautifully by Clark. The ball's going to go over to touch. And Michael Weir again just sort of seeing up the pieces, telling his defenders to go into the position because he knows exactly where he wants to pinpoint this goal kick. As I said, winners so far in the Victorian League of the FFA Cup. Wins to South Melbourne on penalties last night against Oakley, which was scenes, as you would say. South Melbourne have struggled throughout the course of the NPL campaign. However, they're happy enough to go through to the round of 32 and show exactly why they're one of the powerhouses in the NPL. And also Avondale were scared a little bit by Paco for probably the first hour of that contest, but then Avondale sort of controlled the tempo of that game in that last half an hour last night and were able to progress through to the round of 32. As we said, Moreland Zebras, last time we checked, is still 1-0 up against Port Melbourne. See Scott. Chance here, a bit too much power there, too much flair. To Newman, and it's going away Hume City.
Yeah, and I mean, you're listing all the clubs making their way through this FFA Cup Victorian section. I guess it really reflects how important a cup run can be to a good league season, Michael. We've seen it with Monbulk themselves and their uptake in form since their win over Clifton Hill just after the lockdown. But a good cup run could really turn the mood around in a club in Hume City. Well, they've already got a good mood going, so this will just add to that. And it'll be really exciting to see how far they can go in this cup competition because they've got so much quality, and we know they've got a history of deep runs in the FFA Cup, semi-finalists in 2015, I think it was. So there's no reason really that they can't go that far again because they've got just so much quality on the pitch all over. And they'll really back themselves to make a deep run this year as well.
And they've got a club legend in Nick Hegarty as well at the helm, who's been part of many FFA Cup runs for Hume City in the round of 32. Tennant. Goes back to Weir. However, speaking to Nick Hegarty on Sunday, he said he was relishing the fact that he's now senior coach of this Hume squad, and he knows the club, he knows the culture very well. Down at ABD Stadium, he knows how vital it is for Hume City to keep the same culture they've had. Proud Turkish community down there in Broadmeadows. And big credit to those who are from Hume City who have actually made the trip all the way up from Broadmeadows tonight to Monbulk. It's about a 3-hour turnaround return. Bingham. Chance for Ochieng. Get Monbulk putting the extra numbers down back. Watson. Being bullied by Bowler. Didn't phase him. Clark almost turned that one over. Might in the end. He doesn't. And McRae's got a little bit of space to him now. He knew exactly where he wanted to place it. He was going to place it in the way of Wynn. Ball with Watson. Watson back over the Wynn. To Watson. McRae in the box. Again, Hume going to deny Monbulk their first goal of the evening. as they're away. Good attempt challenge there from Clark. Oh, I feel kind of bad for Newman though, because that wasn't overly a bad challenge to Sekic there, but the referee said there was a little bit of argy-bargy in that challenge.
Well, no, but that was one of Monbulk's more promising attacks, I think, of this game. They managed to get both Chris Wynn and Marcus Watson over on that side, on the left-hand side. So a real opportunity in Monbulk, showing that they're more than capable of creating chances in this game, and that was a good sign, I think, not only in terms of their mindset and what they're looking to get out of this game, but also in their ability on the ball and their ability to get numbers in dangerous areas with quality, as Marcus Watson and Chris Wynn both possess.
And also with Steve McRae having to deal with a 2-on-1 inside the box too, they knew exactly that Steve McRae's the danger man when it comes to trying to score those goals. Scott. Mustn't over on a bit of a run now. Monbulk through Newman. Over to Clark. There's Wynn. It was pretty good in the last passage. Over to Scott, the captain. Going to find Newman. Newman trying to cross that one in. Trying to find McRae. Couldn't do so. And Hume City get out of dodge again. Monbulk will regain possession. Good hustle there from Newman to keep that one in. Got Dixon contend with. Going to head back. He does to Higgins. There's Sekic. Short pass over to Bowler. To Maricic. Tennant. Langlois. Every Hume play gain a little bit of a touch in this possession as they lose that ball. Can Monbulk get on the counter-attack here? They can't. Brennan with a header over to Langlois. Over to Bingham. What can Josh Bingham do here? Dixon. Oh, and good slide there from Langlois. Can they keep possession? Can they keep the ball in? They can. Go again. There's Brennan. Good juggling there from Andy. Monbulk just going high. Trying to find a play, couldn't do so. Bowler. Lazaridis. Dixon. Couldn't find Bowler in the end. And here's Kirsten on a bit of a run. Monbulk going to try and head back. They can't do so. Not bad there from Kirsten. Got one more to contend with from Maricic. Here the Bronx cheers of the crowd here at Monbulk. They were pretty happy with that there from their man in Kirsten. But again, it was just chopped off there by Maricic.
Yeah, and Monbulk finally getting some reward for all of their great pressing high up the pitch, which they've been executing throughout the evening. You imagine that might be perhaps one of their best chances of scoring is from a loose turnover from the Hume defence, which has, on the whole, been very impressive and very solid for the duration of the evening. Jordan Maricic and Hayden Tennant both very solid, especially in the air, because we've seen lots of balls whipped in, as we are once again at the moment.
Jazz here and Monbulk. Is the goal going to count? That was very close. That was very, very close. The fan seeker went in. We'll get final confirmation shortly. Looking at the replay. I think from your sight line there with the replay, what do you see now, Oscar?
Yeah, it looked like Steve McRae who got onto the end of it and his shot rifling into the crossbar. No real question of whether it crossed the line. I think it came pretty much straight out, so they won't feel hard done by Monbulk, but easily their best chance of the game, the closest they've come. Steve McRae showing the danger he poses with the killer instinct in the box and so nearly found a way through, but really positive signs for Monbulk. This Hume City defence perhaps just lapsing a little in their concentration over the last few minutes, which will, I think, only inspire the Monbulk attackers even more to maintain their high press and continue to fight for a way through, to get a goal for themselves so that they at least have something to come away from this match with, or at least maybe even get themselves back in the tie.
The endeavours there for Monbulk. That was their best opportunity through Steve McRae. See the ball sticking with Hume City. Baylor. He hits the deck. Brennan. Advantage called by the referee. It's going to stay with Hume City. It's an absolute shame, though, because from what we were, it looked like it was a goal from Steve McRae. The referee on pitch has probably got a better eyesight than what we do here, Oscar.
You know, he made very good contact and he would have felt like he really was going to score by the time he got to the ball, but just got under it a little bit too much. And if nothing else, it's excited the home crowd, and they're finding their voice more and more, getting a bit louder as they encourage their side to continue to fight and to really put on a good show on such a big stage.
Chance now for Hume City. Bumped out of there was McLeese by Ochieng. There's Lane Loyce. Lazaridis, a bit too much power there. So we've got about 5 or so minutes left before half time. Hume City with a comfortable 3-0 lead in this one. Goal scorers so far this evening: Maricic, Bingham and Lazaridis. But almost an opportunity for Steve McRae to peg one back and cancel out one of those Hume City goals. But upon further inspection of the replay, it was just out. This ball's going away, Hume City. Over to Lane Loyce. Tennant. Good long ball over to Lazaridis. Over to Lane Loyce. Monbulk cut that one off. Newman bumped off there with Geordie Scott. And a free kick to the captain of Monbulk. A free kick, he might come back here to Scott. Couldn't do so. Sekic. Good awareness. Had the shirt tugged just a little bit by Wynn. Get on the counter-attack up. Hume City, here's Brennan. One-on-one with Kirsten. And Monbulk winning that battle there. So Joris Kirsten winning that one there for the Rangers.
And I mean, as you say, about 5 minutes left in this first half, and I think if Monbulk can see out the remaining few minutes to get to half-time 3-0 down, I think that they'll at least take away that the second half of this first half has been decent from the home side. They would be happy, they've been solid, they've had chances of themselves. Of course, Hume City have reduced their attacking intent, being comfortably 3-0 up, but nonetheless, it's really impressive, I think, that Monbulk have responded in the way that they have, and I think that they'll be satisfied, as I say, at least with the second half of this first half, if they can see it out at keeping the score to 3-0.
And a good thing, too, for Monbulk is that they actually haven't let any more goals through in the second half of this first half as well, which you bring up a really good point there, Oscar. Sekic. Dixon trying to get that one, couldn't do so. Cut off there beautifully there by Higgins. There's McRae. The Monbulk fans starting to find their voice a little bit. And good news for the Rangers fans. They're going to get a corner out of it. Reap the reward of that endeavour. Good work there from Dan Higgins and Steve McRae. Monbulk will set up inside the box. You got a feeling too that if they can score a goal here before half time, this place is going to erupt. Headed away. And Monbulk able to just retain possession. Bit too much oomph there in the end. But not a bad chance there for Monbulk yet again.
No, as you say, didn't come off in the end, but how impressive has Steve McRae been in this first half? He's worked so hard for his side and posed such a threat throughout the duration of the first half, even when things haven't been going Monbulk's way. He's not the paciest, but he's clinical, he's composed, he knows where to be at the right time, and that's been a huge source of well, I'd imagine pride for this Monbulk side to see a player put so much out there and really make a name for himself in such a big game.
Langlois for Hume. Sekic, Dixon, Lazaridis. Back over to Sekic. Got a couple to contend with. He'll go back. Langlois. Tennant. Ochieng. Brennan back over to Ochieng. Hume play goes to ground, will be a free kick. And chance in this latter part of the first half for Hume to try and go for their fourth. It will be Mark Ochieng to take the set-piece free kick. You got Danny Dixon there too. Actually, it will be Dixon to take the free kick instead. Dixon inside. Good header there for Monbulk. You can hear Weir saying hold to Hume City. They do want to try and get that fourth goal before half-time. Ball staying with Hume City. And that's half-time. So going into the sheds at the end of 45. Hume City leading this one 3-0. Goal scorers to Maricic, to Bingham and to Lazaridis. However, Oscar, we've got to be very happy with the endeavour in the last 20 minutes there for Monbulk. They had two great opportunities to try and peg one back before half-time, but still, they're still trying to find it. And yet again, it's the man that has walked past us, and Steve McRae. He's been the pivotal X-factor for Monbulk in that first half.
Yeah, and I mean, first and foremost, full credit to Hume City. They've come out with a game plan, they've executed, and they've been quality, and they've shown, well, they've demonstrated why on paper they seem like easy winners tonight, because they've been great. But as you say, really good fight from Monbulk. The second half of that first half, I thought, was really admirable. They showed lots of defensive qualities as well as attacking threat. And I mean, as you say, this home crowd, it's ready to erupt if Monbulk were to perhaps snatch a goal, and crazy things can happen in football. So they'll come out in the second half full of endeavour, I'd hope. And if they could snatch an early goal, then strap yourselves in, because we could be in for a wild ride.
Nick Hegarty's going to be very happy with how they play in that first half. Hume City, Mike Kelly, he'll definitely want to try and find some endeavour as we lose a bit of lights there. I think that's our cue there, Oscar. We're going to take a short break here on Football Victoria's Facebook and YouTube channel. We'll be back very, very shortly with the second half, and hopefully we'll get some lighting back as well. Stick with us here. It is Hume City leading this one against Monbulk, 3-0 at Monbulk Soccer Reserve. Yeah. Welcome back to Monbulk Soccer Recreation Complex here in Monbulk. Hume City with a 3-0 update. Oh, sorry, 3-0 lead here at half time. Nothing? Hume City leading 3-0 here at half time, and a little bit of delay. We did have the lights drop out before half time. I think we're still waiting for confirmation, waiting for a couple more lights to come back on. As I welcome back Oscar Drew to the coverage. Oscar, bit of shade to 1996 Essence Tequila about it with the lights going out right on half time and some of the lights still not working here.
No, I can't imagine anyone will be making their way onto the pitch to steal any of the goalposts, but as you say, just a slight delay, just for everyone at home wondering why we're taking so long to get back on. But everyone, well, the halftime substitutes are still warming up as we speak, so doesn't look like we'll be getting back underway in the immediate future, but shouldn't be too long. Only a couple more lights to go before we're ready to go for the second half.
And as we wait for some of the lights to come back on too, might as well talk about some of the plays of the first half, the ones that stood out to you the most. So I'd say definitely from a Hume City perspective, play stood out to me in that half was, I really liked how Josh Bingham was very dangerous inside the box. Andy Brennan was fantastic. Marich has been fantastic. Lazarise has been really, really good too. And Ben Bell has been solid down back. And then for Monbulk, I've loved Dan Higgins. Dan Higgins has been fantastic. Steve McRae's probably been the pick of the bunch, but I've also loved the hustle from Chris Wynn and Marcus Watson, who have been trying to feed that ball into McRae to try and get that first goal.
Yeah, no, I think all those players that you've picked out have been fantastic. I think Hume City have put together a really complete performance right up until maybe the end of that first half where they started to make a few errors, as you say. I mean, Matt Lazaridis and Jordan Maricic scoring goals, two technically defenders, I think speaks volumes of the way that Nick Hegarty's got his side lining up and pushing plenty of numbers forward, and that's certainly been effective for them in this game. But as you say, a really strong finish from Monbulk. Of course, Steve McRae was excellent. I thought Geordie Scott put in plenty of hard challenges and trying to lift his troops, but you'd really put it down to the likes of Mike Kelly and Geordie Scott, the leaders of this Monbulk side, to rev up their troops for the second half. They've got a bit longer than they thought they would to contemplate what went on in that first half, but if they can continue playing like they did at the end of the first half, then there's no reason that they can't perhaps get an early goal and get the crowd behind them and create a really exciting second half.
Absolutely, and I think also getting the crowd support and getting those cheers as well, so I've sort of spurred them on a little bit, giving that motivation to try and get that first goal, potentially have that small opportunity to trying to get back to level pegging terms, trying to get back in that game as well. Trying to kick 3 goals in that second half against a powerhouse like Hume City, it's going to be very, very tough for Monbulk, but it's just their endeavour from start to finish so far in this game has been really, really good.
Yeah, and I mean, of course, it is hard to imagine Monbulk actually getting back into this contest. I mean, we were discussing at half-time, people like to say stranger things have happened. I'm not sure too many stranger things have happened than if Monbulk were to come back from 3-0 down at half-time to dump Hume City out of the FFA Cup. But as I say, even if they don't come back in and get the win or progress in the competition, a really good performance can do a whole lot of good for this Monbulk side in their own league campaign. They're right down the bottom of State League 2, the Southeast Division here in Victoria. So they've got lots to fight for in terms of pride and as I say, just generating a good mood and a positive atmosphere around the club. This home crowd will get behind them as long as they put in all the effort that they can and really fight for the badge. And we saw that at the end of the first half. If they can keep that up, I think that Monbulk can still come away from tonight feeling as if it was a success.
And of course, Hume City, well, they're third on the table so far in the 2021 campaign. It just speaks volumes on how well all this side is under Nick Hegarty. They are very, very dangerous at the best of times. They thrive in the FFA Cup. They've been to 4 round of 32s already. It's probably going to be number 5 on their itinerary, which is going to be fantastic for them. It just shows that their depth goes far and deep. all around the board. And Nick Hegarty, as I said, he's a club legend, now the coach of Hume City after a good playing career with the Turkish-based side. It just shows exactly, speaks volumes about them. I love how Hume City line themselves up, and I know that they're going to be very dangerous come the round of 32, and they'll scare a few A-League clubs to get picked in that pool.
Yeah, and I mean, absolutely they will. We've seen Hume City, I think, really come together well over their last 4 or 5 matches. Their main, I think, the thing holding them back in the early parts of the season, at least in their league campaign, was their defensive structure, I think, or they were leaking a few too many goals, but have certainly tidied that up over recent weeks, which I think they've got 4 clean sheets in the last 5 matches and won 4 of their last 5. So assuming that they can maintain that defensive solidity, this Hume City side can go a long way, not just in their NPL competition, but indeed in this FFA Cup. Like you say, not many A-League sides will be keen to draw Hume City in the next round, or any teams in this FFA Cup, because they pose such a threat all across the pitch. And as you say, really good to watch. Nick Hegarty's got them ticking, and watch out for Hume City.
We can't confirm in the other game as well. It's still 1-1 between Port Melbourne and Moreland Zebras, which means that game will definitely be going to 120. I think they've just started. They've started extra time now as we speak over there, so we'll be definitely keeping our eyes peeled on that one. Moreland had the early lead over Port Melbourne, but Port Melbourne in the last sort of minutes or so of that game. It's currently 104 minutes into that one between Port Melbourne and Moreland, as we're just watching another screen as we speak. Joey Leach and Damir Koulas doing a fantastic job calling that one for those watching it over there. And then most likely after they've done watching the Port Melbourne Moreland Zebras game, they'll tick over to this game to watch Hume and Monbulk. As we're good news is that the lights are now back on fully. It's a lot more lit up than what it was, say, 10 minutes ago. And that is the beauty of coming up to the mountains here, Oscar, as well. It just shows that these lights will go off at any minute, but credit to the players. Subs are out here for both sides. They're able to continuously warm up at this point in time. So wait now for both sides to come out of the tunnels at halftime. We'll take another short break, and on the other side of this, we'll hopefully start the second half between Monbulk and Hume City. For those just joining the stream right now, goals to Maricic, to Bingham, and to Lazaridis to Hume City. They're currently 3-0 up. We'll take a short break here for Monbulk Soccer Reserve, and we'll be back with the second half very, very shortly here on the Football Victoria Facebook and YouTube channels. Welcome back to this game between Monbulk and Hume City. Sorry about the delay there. We were just waiting on news and confirmation if we're going to restart this game. We did have a few lights out, but I think all transmissions are according to plan right now. I think we've got enough lights, which is safe enough for the players to play out on. Fingers crossed, touch wood, we don't have any more outages with the lights. Oscar Drew and Michael Thompson with you on the coverage here. Did speak to Nick Hegarty as well during that short outage there, and we can confirm that there'll be 2 subs coming in for Hume City. So Chapar will come on and Boz Dugan will come on, and Hayden Tennant and Ben Balla will be starting on the bench for them. And also Nick Hegarty said, just don't be sloppy. That's pretty much the simple equation he's put to his boys. They're 3-0 up, but I can definitely see where Higgs is coming from there, Oscar, as I welcome you back to the coverage.
Yeah, thanks, Michael. Looks like we're on the way to getting underway. Players have been out on the pitch warming up for a number of minutes now, and the officiating team has just made their way onto the park. So hopefully it looks like we'll get back underway in the not too distant future. But yes, as you say, well, I might hand it back to you actually just to get us kicked off actually, because it looks like that's happening just about now, Michael.
It is indeed. Referee checks his watch, and we are officially underway. Second half, this FA Cup game. Hume City with a 3-0 lead heading into the final 45 minutes. Can Monbulk, from the hustle we saw in them in the first half, can they continue what they started in that last 20 minutes? Win. Trying to get possession there for Monbulk, couldn't do so. We are for Hume City. It'll be good to see the first minutes of Boz Dugan and Chapar out for Hume City in the early goings to this one. We'll say though, Ben Balla was phenomenal in that first half for Hume City, but I think Higgs is sort of moving the chess pieces around, as you would say, Oscar.
Yeah, absolutely, and he can have that kind of flexibility in the second half. As you said, his main message being just to not get sloppy, remain sharp, make sure that they don't give away any sloppy balls that could allow Monbulk away back into this contest. So I think that this first 5-10 minutes really important for Hume City, just to reassert themselves in this game, control the tempo, make Monbulk feel like they can hardly get a touch, so that they can hopefully, for Hume's perspective, take any sting that Monbulk might have right out of the game and allow themselves to comfortably walk towards the next stage of the FFA Cup.
We'll get a quick score update too in the other game too between Port Melbourne and Moreland as well. They were doing extra time for that one, going to the 120. And Port Melbourne are leading that one so far 2-1. So they've scored the last 2 goals, one before the end of regulation time in the second half and one during extra time. And it's looking like as well, we'll say that Port Melbourne are moments away from qualifying the round of 32. Bad luck to Moreland Zebras in that one. So Port Melbourne, the third side through now to the 2021 Victorian part of the FFA Cup. And they'll make their way through to the semi-finals of that Doherty Cup now. Good thing, though, the FFA Cup draw happens tomorrow, which I'm looking forward to seeing as well. Seeing where the Victorian teams stack up against, whether they're taking on teams from New South Wales, Queensland, or even any of the A-League clubs as well. Newman, long ball over. Not going to phase Hume City at all through Dixon. Ball to Weir. Brennan. To Bosdagan, who's on for his first minutes. Ochieng. Brennan. Bit too much there to Ochieng. It'll be a throw-in going away of Monbulk. Watson. Long ball over. Couldn't find Clark. There's Brennan. Had to do with Clark. Clark over to McRae. McRae dealing with Bosdagan. And Steve McRae keeps that in beautifully. Chance here! Almost the way of Newman. And that would have erupted the grandstand where we are, Oscar, if they got that first goal through Josh Newman.
Yeah, and looking to pick up right where they left off at the end of that first half, Monbulk, by putting some pressure on. Just a word on the substitutions that Nick Hegarty has made as Hume give it away again. I'll go back to you, Michael.
Chance for Monbulk. They can't. Let's see Hume now on the counter-attack. Ochieng has got a couple to contend with. Clean tackle there from the captain, Geordie Scott. And as you were saying, Oscar?
Yeah, it just looks as if both Chappa and Bosdagan have slotted into the centre of defence to make a kind of a 3 at the back or 5 at the back for Nick Hegarty. So certainly appears as if he's happy to play a more solid, compact brand of football in the second half and just make sure they don't give Monbulk a sniff in this game. But Monbulk certainly providing plenty of entertainment and attacking threat in the early stages of the second half.
And again, good hustle there from Monbulk. It will go the way of Hume City, though, in this throw in. Lang Lois to Ochieng. To Bosdagan. Lang Lois through the middle. Found Dixon. Chance here now for Hume. And it's Allen who mops up for Monbulk. And they've turned that ball over again, have Monbulk, Bingham. As I said during the halftime show, Oscar, it's a well-oiled team, this Hume City side, sitting third currently in the NPL table. And just under 40 minutes now and going through to yet another round 32. Berth where they'll definitely be the ire of a lot of faces across Australia right now because a lot of people know what Hume City are capable of during the FFA Cup.
Yeah, absolutely. Just thinking it'll be interesting to see if Nick Hegarty does bring off any of his front three, the dangerous Dixon, Bingham or Brennan, considering how pivotal they are to Hume City's to their play and how much of a threat they pose to almost every team that they come up against. So I wonder, should Hume City see out the early stages of the second half, whether Nick Hegarty will be looking to his bench again just to rest some of those players, protect them, put them on ice ahead of the next fixtures in the NPL for Hume.
Ball inside the 80-yard box for Hume City. Pegged out. There's Win. Heads back. It's quick 1-2s there. Back over the Win. Ball going away to Monbulk. We see Steve McRae. Going to give out that ball, and we're going to see Aaron Angulo bring the ball back in for Monbulk. Long throw. Over to McRae. He lost it, unfortunately. But they'll regain possession. Biangulo to throw the ball back in for Monbulk. Win. And good last touch there from Bosdagan. McRae going to try and find Win. Not a bad idea, though. Can Win get the first goal? And it's gone left side of the post. And again, we're seeing the hustle and the endeavour from Monbulk, similar to what we saw in the latter part of that first half.
Yeah, and yet again, it's Steve McRae using all of his experience and guile, recognising that the break was on or that Chris Wynn had found his way through into some space. Wynn will be disappointed with that effort there. Just got under it a little bit too much as it went flying over Michael Weir's post, or crossbar rather. But again, it's hard to criticise Monbulk for what they're putting out here for the vast majority of this game. They did go 3-0 down quite early, but they've continued to fight. They've continued to show great endeavour. And even in the second half where the game seems lost, they win the ball back and are still a real shout in this contest, or at least you'd imagine they believe that by the way they're playing.
And it's a slice of cheese going away Mark Ocheng. As you can hear the Bronx cheers from the Monbulk faithful. So first card of the evening in this game. And a free kick here to Monbulk. And you can hear the crowd now starting to find their full voice again. McRae. He said Oscar, he's been very pivotal for Monbulk. He's going to cross that ball in. Chance here, no. Good news though. It will be a corner kick going away to Monbulk so they can reset and try and go again.
Yeah, and you can feel the intensity and anticipation building here at the ground. This home crowd really getting behind their team. They believe that they're in the chance as the corner comes in. In this instance, Hume got away with it, but Hume City sitting back more of a defensive shape in the early stages of the second half, and Monbulk taking advantage of that to put on plenty of pressure. They won another corner here. Hume City perhaps making this a bit more difficult for themselves than is necessary by allowing Monbulk to come onto them and perhaps involve this home crowd as they look for a way back into this contest.
And with McRae again from the corner. Second chance here. Not bad. Can Watson keep it in? I don't think they're going to. And Hume City will get possession back. About a good 90 seconds of good 90-second passage there for Monbulk. And the crowds, they're getting louder and louder, Oscar, which is good to see.
Yeah, they are, and I think credit's also due to the Monbulk coach, Mike Kelly. He's clearly done a good job at getting his troops motivated and riled up for this second half. They still believe that they're in with a fighting chance, and it's creating a much better spectacle than we would have otherwise.
Bit too much oomph there from Sekic. Over to Allen. Over to McLeese. Trying to find Watson. And Weir's just telling his troops just to calm down just a little bit. Into space. Does so successfully as Brennan. He's been good this evening. Ocheng, who picked up that first yellow card of the game. They've headed back Hume City. Again, it's almost mirrored to what Monbulk were able to do to Clifton Hill a couple of weeks ago. Just apply a little bit of pressure. Chance here, but straight away Danny Dixon didn't attempt to go forth and try and strike that ball. He knew straight away he was offside. Good awareness there from the linesman, and it'll be going away to Monbulk.
Yeah, and we're seeing more space open up in behind for Hume City to attempt to exploit, and that's because, well, Monbulk have been pushing quite high up the ground, I think, for the majority of this game, but they've really put that tactic into overdrive. We're seeing someone like Marcus Watson push much further up the ground and almost into that central striker role as they try to force a turnover high up the ground because they feel Monbulk will feel as if that's their best chance of getting through. But as is the case when you play in that manner, it does leave spaces in behind, which Hume will feel is a real good opportunity for them to exploit as the half wears on.
As Nick Hegarty's saying to his troops at half-time to not get sloppy in. I think it's more so they're not getting sloppy and they're not mucking around with the ball. It's more so that Monbulk have come out fit and fiery and have done well so far to just restrict Hume. Oh dear, chance here now for Monbulk. McRae could have got there. But good pressure there from Chris Wynn to turn that ball over and potentially get another chance here for the Rangers.
Yeah, and it was Bozdogan with the back pass that just put his goalkeeper under quite a lot of pressure, a bit too much power on the ball. But as you say, Michael Weir did really well to keep his composure and just take it around McRae at the crucial moment. But the home crowd continuing to show their support for their side as they press and force turnovers and are looking more and more of a threat as we continue in the second half.
And it's good to get the crowd as well into it as well when they come ever so close to getting that first goal. And as I said, this place is going to erupt when they get that first goal against Hume. I did predict sort of early in the week, I was hoping for Monbulk to maybe get one goal past Hume tonight. So I'm kind of hoping they can still do that in some way, shape or form. Dixon, Brennan, Ochieng. Dixon. Brush off Clark easily. There's Ochieng. Not the intended target. And what can Monbulk do on the counter-attack? They can't do too much. Bozdogan. Good spot at Ochieng. Over to Bozdogan. To Langlois. They calm things down a little bit here. That was Chapar. Monbulk, however, see Hume City lose that ball for the time being. Hume just keeping themselves nice and composed. Ochieng. Dueling with Angulo. Ball up by Bozdogan to Ochieng. Bingham, the header. Trying to bounce that down, couldn't do so. Again, dueling through midfielder, Monbulk and Hume. Hume win this one. Dixon, gone for a little bit of a run. Short touch over to Brennan. Brennan for an opportunity. Good save there from Allen. But the shot from Andy Brennan wasn't too bad either. So we see that ball heading back into defence for Hume City. But just their pressure's been really, really good, and their composure's been good, hasn't it, Monbulk?
Yeah, it absolutely has, but also credit to Hume City in that instance as we see more brilliant defensive efforts there from Angulo, making it so hard for this Hume side to play the way out. It's the ball given away.
Chance now for win. Clark. Watson to Newman. He goes down, and it'll be a free kick going the way of Monbulk.
Yeah, and so disappointing for Chris Wynn there. Just caught a little bit on the back foot as Michael Weir in the Hume City goal gave the ball away. If he were just perhaps a bit more on the front foot there, could have maybe taken better advantage of that slip up from the Hume City goalkeeper. But for now, the visitors escape with their clean sheet intact, but Monbulk putting more and more pressure. They'll have another set-piece opportunity now, and they've got plenty of tall timber, so a really optimistic start, and the home crowd getting more and more excited as the half progresses.
Monbulk got a few bodies inside the 18-yard box. McRae crosses it in. Couldn't find one in the end. And they're away now, Hume. This is where they're dangerous, when they're in a little bit of space, especially when Josh Bingham's on. Bingham just going to calm down here. Going to head back to Ochieng. Back over to Bingham. Short touch there. Sticking around, Dixon. Langlois got it from Sekic. And cleared away by Monbulk beautifully. Bozdogan is going to see that ball out, and they'll keep it in.
Yeah, and I think that's a pattern that we'll see a lot in this second half as Monbulk push bodies forward for something like a set piece as we just saw, and then Hume looking to hurt them on the break. In that instance, so Monbulk got back well. It'll be interesting to see if they can continue to do that throughout the second half as they'll get more and more tired from all the energy that they're putting into both their attacking and defensive efforts. So Hume will feel that more gaps will open up as the half progresses, and Monbulk will just have to be wary as many bodies as they push forward. They have to get back if they want to, well, at least limit Hume to just the 3 goals this evening.
And for Monbulk, they can restrict Hume to only 3 goals for 90 minutes. They've done a fantastic job after conceding 3 goals in the first 20 minutes of this contest. Brennan, Ochieng, Dixon trying to find Bingham. Dixon might be able to get the ball back. He does. Well done there by Danny Dixon. Had to contend with Kirsten. And last touch going away of Hume City. We're going to see some substitutes, and Nick Hegarty, well, as he said, he's probably going to try and ice a few players, try and bring on some fresh legs. The beauty of these midweek games in the FFA Cup is the short turnaround between rounds in the National Premier League competition. So we're going to see Josh Bingham coming off. And I think Danny Dixon's also going to come off, which will make way for, say, Mitch Cooper and Theo Markellis. And Theo Markellis, he's very synonymous. He's been very good for Hume City over the journey. Mitch Cooper also putting in a good season as well under Nick Hegarty. So Nick Hegarty just playing with the chess pieces again, bringing on 2 reliable players in Theo Markellis who can go up there and score, likewise Mitch Cooper.
Yeah, absolutely, and as we suggested at the start of the half, perhaps understandable to put 2 crucial players in Dixon and Bingham on ice after the remainder of this half, but just shows the squad depth that Hume City have, that they can bring on 2 players of such quality as Theo Markellis and Mitch Cooper, and so the task doesn't get a whole lot easier for Monbulk despite the changes that have been made.
Monbulk through win. As for them to press, they can't do so. Well done there for Maricic. Oh, not bad. Good touch there from Cooper to find Cekic. Over to Bozdogan. Lane Lois, Ochieng. They're going to have a little bit of fun with it now. Maricic. Chapar. They're calling for the flag to go up, and Andy Brennan, unfortunately, is offside. And again, good awareness by the linesman. As Monbulk going to quickly use that quick free kick. Too much power on that one. Can they keep it in? Chris Wynn. He can. Chance here, Watson. Not a bad ping from Marcus Watson from just outside the 18-yard box. Goes over the crossbar, though. But again, another opportunity for Monbulk, and the hustle and the endeavours getting there, Oscar.
Yeah, absolutely, and it just gets me thinking, Michael, about as if the odds weren't stacked against Monbulk enough already, considering the division difference and the squad depth and quality of a side like Hume City coming to Monbulk. Of course, the fact that their 2 goal scorers from the last round, both not available for selection tonight, you know, as the assistant raises his offside flag again, in both Qual and Sadegi. So you've perhaps felt that they've been lacking a bit of the composure and quality up top tonight. Steve McRae's worked his socks off, but ultimately they haven't quite, as I say, had the quality to finish off any of the half chances that they've generated. But nonetheless, we've said it ad nauseum that Monbulk should be congratulated for the way that they've approached this game, for the fight and spirit that they've demonstrated, even if they haven't had the quality to make it all count.
Chance here now, Brennan. Just over the crossbar. Not a bad shot, though, from about 25 yards for Andy Brennan. And he's looming large and looming dangerous. He's got 2 compatriots now in Mitch Cooper and Theo Markellis to complement him tonight.
Yeah, and you'd imagine with the withdrawal of Danny Dixon and Josh Bingham that Andy Brennan will take more of a central role as this in this second half. We can see him already has drifted into a more central striker kind of position. So you imagine that he'll be the focal point for most Hume City attacks for the remainder of the game.
Ball goes up in the air. Headed down by Newman, McRae. As the temperature just drops a little bit here up in the Dandenongs. Cooper. Here's Cooper again. I was going to say Brennan was Lumen, and so is Chekic. There'll be a goal kick going away to Monbulk. So 3 sides already through now to the FFA Cup. South Melbourne on penalties. Avondale as well beat Paco last night. And Port Melbourne coming from 1-0 down against Moreland Zebras to clinch it in extra time. And it seems that the script says that Hume City will also be joining the 3 top-tier sides as well, as we see Watson. A couple of opportunities, just too many Hume City defenders to contend with. There's Brennan. Going to keep possession, does so beautifully. Cooper. Lane Loyce. Mark Callis is now Lumen. He gets the ball. Chapar. Cough that ball up. Win. Chance for Monbulk. Well done there by Maricic. Hume, no, McRae. And Steve McRae is just trying to take things into his own hands now. Monbulk desperate to get their first goal and try to swing some sort of momentum their way.
Yeah, and although it ended up being one of their better opportunities of the night, I think we just saw in that attack the first signs of this Monbulk side beginning to tire, players struggling to get up the pitch to take advantage of the sloppy turnover from Hume. And so absolute credit to Nick Hegarty and his side for the way that they've taken the sting out of this game in lots of ways. As a bit of a late challenge will cause the referee to go into his book for the second time in this half, but looking more and more as if Hume City are gaining control of the tempo of this game, as that's Edward Clark going into the book for his late challenge there on Mark Ocheng.
Was a bit of a late challenge there from Clark. As we see substitutions, and Chris Wynn's going to come off. And coming on the pitch is Alex Clark. See Lang Loyce. Back over to Weir. Maricic, Chapar. To Bosdagan. On a bit of a run. Good cross into the box. Almost a certain goal there for Andy Brennan. He would have loved to have put his name on the score sheets. Would make Michael Weir's night a lot easier, keeping him to a clean sheet. Maricic, Chapar. Lane Loyce. Hume's going to conserve misplay here. Cooper, a bit too much power on that long ball from Lane Loyce. Cooper on the tail of Angulo. And Allen. Good awareness, gets it out of there. Maricic. Brennan. Trying to find Mark Callis. Couldn't do so. McRae. So he's got Ocheng to deal with. Can he keep that ball in? He can. Oh, McRae. Not doing a bad job. Shot here. Opportunity. Went the way of the captain, Geordie Scott. And that also goes over the crossbar, but two sublime efforts there from Monbulk.
Yeah, and Steve McRae continues to amaze with all of his hard work. He's seemingly tireless. You can understand him walking a bit slowly at the moment because he's run all night so hard and kept this Hume City accountable all night. Just a word on the substitutions. You mentioned Alex Clark coming on. I think we've also seen Josh Botha coming on for the home side for Monbulk. So perhaps manager Mike Kelly just recognising that his side was in need of an injection of some fresh legs, and hopefully those players will be able to provide it to see them out for the remainder of this game.
Chapar, Lane Loyce, Cooper, Chekic, Ocheng. All soft touches here from Hume City. As they advance forwards. Good challenge there from Watson. McRae, he's been pivotal tonight. Good toe in there from Cooper. They'll lose that ball though. Scott fell asleep at the wheel. Woke up in the nick of time. Fortunately, they've turned that ball over. Chance here now for Hume City. And again, good save there from Allen. Not much that Mitch Cooper can do in that situation. Clark, long ball over now to McRae. He's been fantastic tonight. So Hume play goes, as McRae hits the deck. And he really felt that. Players and fans calling for a penalty. Steve McRae has not moved. He's grimacing a little bit of pain there. Let's look at the replay again. Was there much in it, do you think, Oscar?
No, certainly nothing malicious or anything. It just looked as if he got caught by Ocheng on his way down. On Ocheng's way down, his legs might have just tangled with McRae's a little, perhaps. It was hard to tell, but nothing unbecoming in it or anything. You can see Ocheng going to make sure McRae's all right. It would be a shame if he weren't able to see out this game, though, Steve McRae, because he's really represented everything that this Monbulk side will really vouch for what they'll want their players to represent. He's been outstanding for the duration of the evening, and it's a shame to see him with a bit of a limp at this point, but hopefully he'll be able to get himself back up and going for the last 15 minutes or so of this match.
Well, Dugan to Chekic for Hume City. Chekic's got two to contend with. Well done there from Kirsten. Chance here for Joris Kirsten! And again, close by Monbulk. Very, very close. Joris Kirsten getting the high fives from his players, saying, you know, that was actually probably our best shot of the game so far.
Yeah, they're getting closer and closer. We're seeing more and more Monbulk resorting to the long shots, trying to catch Michael Weir out. But so, to this point, haven't quite been able to get many on goal. But as I say, that one's certainly the closest that we've seen tonight. And I think Monbulk will be hoping just for a goal to take away from tonight. They deserve it for all of their good play, but happy with some wonder goal from Bites to remember this memorable evening for this football club.
And as you said, though, there, Oscar, it's those long opportunities that Monbulk are taking. They're more comfortable from pinging them from outside the box instead of going inside. And on three separate occasions in the second half, they've been very, very close at making sure that Michael Weir doesn't walk away here with a clean sheet.
Yeah, and I think that's also indicative of perhaps how tired Steve McRae and Marcus Watson must be feeling for all of their hard attacking work in this evening, that they're not quite feeling up to making the darting, dashing runs to try and pick their way through the Hume City defence, and so perhaps feeling as if the long-range pot shots are their most likely route to goal.
Chekic. Was Dugan. Langlois, Cooper. For Hume. What can they do in this sequence here? Good challenge. Markellis is still in there too. Good hustle from Monbulk, able to get it away. Here's McRae. McRae. Might have been a cheeky handball on the way out. Doesn't faze him. Watson. And a bit too much there for McRae. McRae was in the right place at the right time. The ball was just going way too fast for him. Cooper keeps himself at bay. Chekic. Dugan. Here's Brennan. He loses that one. Angulo. Watson. Just couldn't do much there. Clark. Monbulk going back. Here's another chance now, McRae. One-on-one with Bosdugan. He keeps possession. Sells a little bit of candy. What can they do here? Chance in now. Can they get the first goal? They can't. Alex Clark almost broke the deadlock. As a Hume play goes down. Boy, oh boy, they are very, very close again. Monbulk. I think it'll be a corner as well going away at Monbulk too, so they got another opportunity here, Oscar.
Yeah, and it's the Steve McRae show once again, continuing to charge down every ball and beat defenders and deliver balls into the box. Really good player. Alex Clark, as you say, in that instance, arriving in the box, but good defensive play from Hume City, getting numbers behind the ball. Just also an interesting thing to note, the way that Hume City have developed in the second half. When they're in possession, they're keeping such a high line, pushing bodies really far up and backing themselves to get back or track back better than Monbulk can manage at this stage with their tiring attackers, and really backing their team defence to have the pace and the energy to run down any balls played over the top.
McRae from the corner. Chance here. Can they get one? No, they can't. And that would have been McLeese on the back end of that one too. Michael Weir is so adamant he wants to keep a clean sheet tonight. As much as you want to hear this place erupt. They've done so well at this point, Monbulk, to try and get themselves a goal. See Bosdugan. Head up Langlois, Cooper. Trying to find Brennan. Not enough power on that. Lob inside the box. Their way again. Well, they were for the short time.
Well, as much as you could accuse Michael Weir of a lack of a sense of occasion, you can't begrudge him his desire to keep his clean sheet intact. It's been such a feature of Hume City's recent success, the way that they've been so defensively solid and kept a number of clean sheets as Hume go for another attacking opportunity here, but Andy Brennan just straying offside. But as I say, they've kept a number of clean sheets in recent weeks, both before and since the lockdown, the break forced by the COVID-induced lockdown. Michael Weir, such a quality goalkeeper, multiple-time goalkeeper of the year in NPL Victoria. And he'll be keen to continue the good run of form that his defence has shown and that he personally has shown in blocking out defences, which I think he'll be very much intent on maintaining across all competitions this evening against a tiring Monbulk attack.
That was Andy Brennan's third offside of the second half too. He's in the right spot, unfortunately. He's just being caught out not once, not twice, but 3 times in this second half. However, I think the former Newcastle Jet player is smelling a goal, that's for sure. Cooper. Get that ball back. Chekic. A bit of Bozdugan. He's got 2 to contend with. He hits the deck. Referee says fair play between him and Clark. The 224s tussling. Angulo. Bit of tug in the shirt there, Bozdugan. And referee says none of that. Free kick going away, Hume City. See another substitution coming for Monbulk. I think Monbulk is just trying to figure out who's coming off. And coming onto the field now for Monbulk. We'll tell you very, very shortly. Langlois. Chapar. There's Mark Ellis. Bit of grunt there by Botha. Chance for Hume to run onto this one. Through Lazaridis. And it will be a corner kick going away, Hume City. Last touch there by Monbulk. Can Hume do what they haven't done for close to 45, 50 minutes now and get another goal on the board? Kept it down with Langlois. Did a great job of it too. It's going to stay with Hume. My apologies, it's going to be a goal kick. Still 3-0 in this one. Early goal scorers to Maricic, Bingham and Lazaridis for Hume City. So we're still trying to decipher who's come on now for Monbulk. So made a substitution. Watson, dueling with Cooper. Langlois. Too much there for Mark Ellis to handle. Atanasov is on. That was his last touch there from Turbo Atanasov. Scott. Higgins. Kept it for McRae. McRae has pinged it long and hoped for the best. Trying to find Marcus Watson. And instead found a bread basket of Michael Weir instead.
Yeah, as you say, it is Tervel Atanasov coming on in that instance for Aaron Angulo. As the Monbulk change, I think Angulo had a decent night, put in plenty of effort, making runs up the pitch, but I guess it's really representative of what you could say about many of the Monbulk players, which is that they try hard, good work ethic, you can't fault them for lack of trying, but ultimately lacking the quality to make it count on the scoreboard or to keep Hume out in some instances as well.
We'll see another substitution coming. And this will be Ibrahim Bangura coming on for Marcus Watson. So both sides using up all their 4 substitutions, minus the 2 keepers on either side of the coin as well. Unless one of the opposing keepers comes off. Doubt we'll see Trenkovsky or Bo Newman on the pitch tonight. Chance there for Ochieng to go back. McRae putting a bit of pressure on. And there is Bangura asserting himself early on to this contest.
I mean, you say, Mark, you can't imagine seeing either of the substitute goalkeepers. I will point out that Nick Hegarty did bring off Michael Weir in the latter stages of their NPL game on the weekend to give Trenkovsky a run. So you don't see it every day, but clearly not something that Nick Hegarty will feel he's unwilling to do.
That's a very good point there, Oscar. Brennan, one-on-one there with Kirsten. Chance now, Scott into a bit of space. Sliding down there was Weir. And sort of said, like, if Weir, he'd be very happy to come off and let Trenkovsky sort of maybe keep the last sort of 15 minutes of this contest.
Yeah, and just to say something about Hume City, I think they've been really professional in the second half. At the beginning, we were a bit worried for them. We felt like they were sitting back a little and inviting the pressure onto them. But as the halves continued, they've asserted more control. They've pushed higher up the pitch and made it really hard for themselves to break down and back their superior physicality and fitness to see out this game with relative comfort.
Cooper, chopped off there by Clark. Ochieng. Did well, Bozdugan. Chekic. And it's going to go away to Monbulk. So we are in the latter stages of this second half. We did have a little bit of a delay. McRae going to try and go for a little bit of a run here. Got about 4 Hume City defenders to contend with. He's happy to take them all on. And nothing available there. It's going to be going away Hume City.
Well, if Monbulk take nothing else out of this game, let it be. Let them take away Steve McRae has well and truly entrenched himself as the club hero that he already was here at Monbulk. He's just been outstanding all evening. I know we've sung his praises ad nauseum, but I've just been so impressed by the way that he's approached this game, and I think that I'm Mike Kelly right to give him the full 90.
And that is game, set, match. Hume City are the final team through to the Victorian League of the national competition around 32. Well done to Hume City. Another string to put onto their bow. They'll be happy with the 3-0 victory. You've got to give credit, though, to Monbulk. They came out and played in the last 70 minutes, but it was just too much in that early going. Maricic, Bingham and Lazare's been the goal scorers for Hume City. And again, Nick Hegarty, he's got this well-oiled machine in Hume City, and it shows straight away that they are going to be very hard to play against in the round of 32. And beware to the A-League teams and the other teams around Australia.
Yeah, absolutely. Full credit to Nick Hegarty and his side. They were fantastic tonight. They did most of the work in the first 20 minutes going 3-0 up. And from there, it was just about an impossible challenge for Monbulk to overcome. Of course, it means that Hume City have now won all 4 of their FFA Cup matches 3-0, which is quite an anomaly, I think, to point out. But it means that they're yet to concede a goal in the Cup this season, which will, of course, please Nick Hegarty no end and Michael Weir in the Hume City goal. They've outclassed their opponents time and time again, and the same can be said tonight against Monbulk, but full credit to the home side. They put on a great show. They really embodied what the FFA Cup is all about, making incredible runs, overcoming incredible odds, as they did time and time again, Monbulk. But at the end of the day, tonight was a stretch too far nonetheless. Full credit to both sides. A really enjoyable contest, I thought, but well done to Hume, and I look forward to seeing them in the next round.
Absolutely, and for those wanting to know as well, the FFA Cup are going to go live tomorrow night at 7:30 p.m. for the 2021 round of 32 draw. Really quickly, Oscar, player of the match for you?
Go on, we'll give it to Steve McRae. I know it was a 3-0 losing side, but he was outstanding.
And about the tacticians, you go to Nick Hegarty for that one?
Absolutely, he did really well tonight, Nick.
Well, Oscar, thank you so much for your expertise, and I really appreciate it. Really enjoyed working with you.
No, thanks very much, Tom. I appreciate it.
Hume City through to the final Victorian team through to the round of 32. We can't wait to see what happens next. The Doherty Cup has also got its 4 teams for the semi-finals, but leaving here at Monbulk tonight, it's a 3-0 win to Hume City. They're through to the round of 32 yet again. And we will catch you tomorrow night for the FFA Cup drawing. Fingers crossed, and good luck to all the Victorian sides in it too. From Oscar Drew and Michael Thompson saying good night from Monbulk Reserve.